I've had a few viewers in the past tell me to stop mucking around with my nonsense and just do a normal car review already. Well, I think that's boring, but today I'm going to do exactly that with this 1995 Ferrari F355 Spider. If this is going to be a normal car review, then the first thing I need to talk about are the specs, because everybody loves raiment. Numbers. Everybody loves numbers. Actually, hang on a second. I need to address the elephant in the room before I can continue, because I know what you're going to think when you look at this car. You're going to think, Robert, this car is massively dirty. And you're right, I didn't have time to give it a wash before I made this video, so I'm sorry about that. You'll just have to forgive me, and now on with the specs. This Ferrari has a mid-mounted, naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V8 with 5 valves per cylinder, or cinque valvole if you enjoy saying Italian words like I do. And it makes 380 fiery horsepower. Behind that engine is a 6-speed manual transmission with a clutch change that rivals a Saab 900 in terms of ease. This whole car weighs just 3,000 pounds, or if you prefer the metric system, 1,760 black-bellied whistling ducks. That gives this car a power-to-weight ratio of about 253 horsepower per ton, which happens to be the exact same power-to-weight ratio you'd find in another 355 Spider. Following the normal car review pattern, it's now time for me to give you a tour of this car, starting with the bodywork, because this is a car designed by Pininfarina, the same company that also designed those stupid touchscreen soda fountains you find in way too many restaurants. Up front you have pop-up headlights and a grille that does nothing but looks great doing it. On the side you have this beautiful and functional air intake running through the door into the engine bay. In the back you have these 4 taillights and 4 exhaust tips that use the principle of the golden ratio to look amazing. Maybe, I'm just guessing. And finally you have the side profile. Even though this is the uglier soft top model, the side profile still looks pretty good. Now I would show you how this soft top operates, but unfortunately the owner tells me that the soft top hasn't been working lately, so I can't do that. Silly Italian cars. When you open the door using the handle hidden in the air scoop, you're immediately greeted with a beautiful charcoal leather interior like you would expect from a true Italian exotic. The door itself is nice as well, but unfortunately the leather on the door card appears to be peeling due to what is most likely age. Once you get inside, you immediately realize how uncomfortable these seats are. On top of having the comfort level of, I don't know, sitting on a bag of charcoal briquettes, they're also fixed in place. My knees are absolutely melted to the dash. Also, the headrests are incredibly uncomfortable as well. There's literally no padding at all on them. In the center console, starting from the bottom, is a row of toggle switches. The 2 outer switches control the position of the front seats. Now, I know what you're thinking. Robert, you just told me these seats are fixed in place. And that's right. These switches, they don't move. I don't know what the point of immovable switches is, but Ferrari. The middle switch controls the soft top, or at least it would if the soft top worked. Up a little higher, the climate controls. I would tell you what each knob does, but in typical Italian fashion, they're all completely unlabeled. As for the HVAC itself, this car comes equipped with air conditioning, and the owner of this car tells me the heater worked incredibly well once. Also, even though the functionality seems to have been removed, this car does look like it used to have heated seats at one point. Just above the climate controls is a lovely gated manual shifter that I can't wait to try out, and the 4 poorly labeled buttons right next to that. Next up is another short row of toggle switches that are actually labeled. Moving to the dash, we have a lovely aftermarket Macintosh radio setup. Above that are 3 somewhat randomly placed gauges that are the clock, the fuel gauge, and the oil temperature gauge. And they all have a nice frosted glass face for just that little bit of extra style. In front of the driver, soon to be me, are these 4 analog gauges. It's a shame Ferrari didn't carry over the frosted glass design aesthetic they used in the center console. It would have added a nice flair of style and unreadability. Up at the top of the windshield is the dome light and the 2 sun visors. And now that you're familiar with the Ferrari F355 Spider, it's time for me to take it on a drive so I can tell you what this little bit of exotica is like to drive, and how much better my life is than yours. All right, let's start this thing up. I expected it to sound a little better. Frankly, it sounds a little like my Fiesta. Anyway, thoughts. The pedal positioning is good. The steering wheel's a good height. The seating position is atrocious. My knees are glued to the dash. It's as if it's permanently stuck in the seating position of someone much shorter and wealthier than me. Anyway, whatever. I just want to get this thing out on the road and see how it feels. All right, let's go. Wow, this thing feels amazing. I'm so disappointed with the exhaust note now. I can't hear anything. I mean, It's a Ferrari. I'm supposed to hear something, right? The only thing I'm going to hear is the sound of this gated manual shifter. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Let's go through a tunnel, shall we? Hold on. Keep your eyes on the road, Robert. All right, approaching the tunnel. Downshift a couple of times. More time, and... Wow, that's where the sound is. That's more like it. At least I know the sound's there, it's just hiding in tunnels. Anyway, other things. What's it like to drive in not straight lines? The car just turns right into every corner without issue or fuss. As far as the handling, well, you can definitely feel the weight in the back if you're in a corner or if the car's on top of you. It's incredibly comfortable. It's as if I'm not even moving at all. So, in summary, it's sharp, it's precise, it's fast, it sounds amazing, only in tunnels, and it's comfortable. Except for the seat, which is not. So that's the end of the drive. Hopefully I answered all of your burning questions about this Ferrari F355 Spider. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. Let's take this thing through another tunnel.
Dude, what are you doing?
What? Making a video.
You're making a video with a car that's been on fire?
What? It's been on fire?